Welcome back, everybody. Today we're here with a Q&A for The Walking Dead Season 10. Earlier this week, I asked you guys to send in some questions, and you guys did. So we're going to go through them and answer them. Thank you guys for sending in the questions. I always appreciate you guys, taking the time to ask these questions. And they're great questions, and I'm interested to see what other people think, what the viewers of this video, because these are all questions that can be answered in more than one way. So let me know what you guys think about the questions and your answers to them. But yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so we're starting off with Martin Carrillo, who asked 2 questions. And thank you for sending in questions, Martin. I know every time I do a Q&A, you're sending in questions. A lot of people are always sending in questions, so that's great. I appreciate the support. But his first question is, do you think Luke will die? That's a good question, because Luke is always that character which I'm always fearing for. I don't know why. I just am. I'm just sort of fearing for Magnet's group in general, because nobody has really died in their group yet. I don't know about Connie. We haven't really seen Connie. I mean, she disappeared. I feel like Connie's alive though, because if she would have died, I feel like they would have showed it a long time ago. I feel like they're, holding it up for dramatic reasons, and I think Connie will return. So, with Magnet's group, they're all pretty much safe. So I'm always worrying about Magnet's group, and Luke is actually one that I'm sort of always like debating on whether or not he will die. And I will say this, I wouldn't be surprised if he dies. I could definitely see Luke dying in the finale. I mean, the trailer was, there were shots of him in the trailer covered in walker guts walking through the horde of walkers. So I don't know, maybe they want to take out a couple big characters. I mean, Luke isn't like the biggest character or anything like that, but he's become, a character who's very enjoyable to watch on screen. So we'll see. I definitely think it's possible. And the second one is, do you think everyone will forgive Carol after all that she has done this season, and what will she do for it? That's a great question, because with Carol, it's really interesting because a lot of people are angry at what she did. I mean, even Daryl, Yumiko, a lot of people. I mean, Daryl's a close one to her, and he's really mad. So, but I think they will forgive Carol. I do think so. I think they're gonna move on because they've been through so much already, not just the Whispers, just their entire, time in the zombie apocalypse. They've been through so much together. These are all people that are, close. I don't think they're going to hold any grudges or anything like that. I think they're going to move on. I think eventually they will forgive each other, because everyone has done, irrational things in the past on the zombie apocalypse. Things get to you, just like it just happens. So I do think they will forgive Carol. And what will she do for it? I was kind of thinking like maybe Carol will leave, but we'll see. Or maybe I know it's so hard to believe Carol dying. I don't really see it happening. I know Carol is like a popular theory right now about dying, but I've seen some people kind of think that maybe she will sacrifice herself and save somebody because of what she did. I don't know. We'll see. But I do think they will forgive her. But thank you for sending in those questions, Martin. You guys let me know what you guys think about those. Those are great questions. Next, we have Betty Smith. Again, thank you for sending in questions, Betty. Do you think the person in the mask is a man or a woman? Personally, I think it's a woman and a new character. Yeah, that's a good question. I'm sort of leaning towards a woman too. And yeah, I do think it's a new character as well. It's hard to tell because, again, the entire body is like covered, wearing, long pants, long shirt, a jacket, so you can't really tell. But something about the figure, a lot of people are sort of suspecting that it's a woman, and I think it could be. And I think, yeah, it's probably a new character. I don't think it's going to be a returning character. I think it's going to be related to Maggie and the Commonwealth, because I don't think there's any reason why Maggie would return on her own, especially if she has letters from the communities and they know about, she knows about the Whispers and she knows that they're in danger. I don't think she would come alone. I think she would probably bring some people with her. So yeah, I agree with you that I think it's a new character, and yeah, it's probably a woman. But yes, thank you for sending in that question, Betty. You guys let me know what you think. Who do you think the new character is? The next one comes in from Cody King, who says, how do you think the Rick movies begin? That's an interesting question, because, I mean, I love talking about the Rick movies. I just really wish we got more information about them. But how do I think they're going to begin? I just think they're going to begin the way Rick's final episode ended off. When Rick, getting, he was in the helicopter and they flew off. They're probably going to pick up, I don't know if they're going to pick up immediately in the helicopter. Like, I actually don't know if they would do that. Like, I could definitely see them actually like specifically picking up, like where it's exactly gonna begin, maybe like in a hospital bed. It'll definitely be like, very similar and the parallels to the first episode of The Walking Dead, with the start with Rick and then the movie start with Rick. So that's what I kind of see happening more that I think about it. I know before I was saying that it's probably gonna pick up where the episode ended off, and it technically is, but I don't know if we're gonna see the journey in the helicopter. We might, but I do think a cool beginning would be him waking up in the hospital bed. Let me know what you guys think about that. Thanks for sending that in. The next one comes in from 1979 Chevrolet Camaro. Awesome car. What is your opinion of the possibility of a Governor Prequel telling of how he rose to power? I think it could work, but it just depends in what medium. Obviously it's not going to be in the main show because that's sort of, way past that. I think it could work because they're expanding The Walking Dead, and I would like to see it, but it just depends on how they put it out. Like, I don't think it's going to be on AMC. The only sort of way I see this happening is like a web series, like a limited web series online. I don't think they're going to do anything on AMC with this. I don't think they're going to do a movie because the governor is like way too, far gone now. The governor doesn't have much. People don't really talk about the governor too much anymore. Or like the average viewer doesn't really talk about the governor that much because we have Negan and the Whisperers, and then we have the Commonwealth now. But the governor is awesome. I love the governor. I mean, I love rewatching the governor seasons. And I would love to see something about the governor. More, yeah, exactly like you said, like how he rose to power. I think that would be really cool. I mean, even those 2 episodes we had in season 4 of The Governor, which were just the only 2 episodes we have of him in season 4, were great. I think the Governor is a great character. David Morrissey is a great actor. So I would love to see one. But the medium I think would probably best fit would be like a web series online or something like that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about that. Do you want to see a Governor Prequel? And if you do, in what way? Like, I mean, I guess a movie could work if they want to do like a little movie on AMC. I'm sure that would work. But again, that has a lot of budget and, scheduling goes into that. And the budget and scheduling also goes into a web series. But I just feel like this would be just like a little prequel they would tell online or something. But we'll see. I know there's always talk about a Governor Prequel and just news about the governor. And I know David Morrissey is still active in the fan base. I think he's been to conventions. I still think he goes to conventions and stuff like that. So I think it'll be really cool if we get one. Again, let me know what you guys think about that. The next question comes in from Joanna Dark, and the question was, will The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead join in the future? I had to Google translate it. I'm sorry, I'm not that good at Spanish. It took a couple of years in high school, but I'm not that good. But basically, she's asking if The Walking Dead will join Fear the Walking Dead in the future. Great question, and thank you for sending that in, Joanna. And I definitely think so. I really do. I still think some merger will happen, or at least like the characters on Fear will meet the characters on The Walking Dead, or at least like if one of the shows ends, some of the remaining characters on one of the shows will continue on to the other show, because this show, The Walking Dead, is really character based, I think. I mean, the story is pretty much the same on all the shows. They have their differences, but the story is, surviving in the zombie apocalypse and the obstacles that come, their way. But the characters are what's important. The characters are the driving force of the story. So I do think that they will merge because of the characters. Like if they want to wrap up one of the shows because they want to have a new show, they could just, plop the characters into the other show, and, that'll be okay, I think, because again, the story is pretty much the same. It's just these characters, just different characters in the shows. I mean, I don't want to say that they're the same exactly because there's, differences, but you guys know what I mean. Like the characters are what's important. So I do think they will join in the future. Or at least like some of the characters will merge, and they'll the remaining characters on one show will end up being in the other, and they're always teasing new crossovers. So I'm sure it'll happen. Especially since they're expanding The Walking Dead so much already. Thanks for sending that in, Joanna, and let me know what you guys think about that. That was a great question. We haven't talked too much about the crossovers between Fear the Walking Dead and The Walking Dead in a while because of so much other stuff going on. But the next question actually has something similar, so let me know what you guys think about this whole topic. The next question is from Ozbej11, who says, what do you think about a rumor about the Fear the Walking Dead crossover at the end of season 11? I'm fine with it. With the way how trash seasons 4 and 5 of Fear the Walking Dead were, they need to finish that show ASAP. Don't get me wrong, seasons 1 to 3 were very good. I haven't heard about that rumor specifically, if there is a rumor that it'll be at the end of season 11, but season 11 seems so far away. Even though it's not really that far away, it just feels so far away because season, like, the 10 finale got delayed, and just like, you know, everything is delayed right now. It just seems so far away that I don't even know what's gonna be going on by that time. But I haven't heard about that rumor, but I think that would be pretty cool. Like, just going back to Joanna's answer question, like, you know, the characters are what's important, and I think fans will be happy if the characters cross over. But I mean, I don't think anybody would be like super sad if Fear the Walking Dead ends and the characters go to The Walking Dead. Like, I don't think anybody would be that upset about it, because again, it's the characters that's what's important. So again, I haven't heard about that rumor specifically, but I would love to see a crossover happen. And yeah, seasons 4 and 5 were pretty weak. I agree with you 100%. Like, season 1 and 3 were good. 4 and 5 not so much. I mean, 4 and 5 both had a good start, and then it just like was rocky, and then it just like went downhill. And I mean, season 6 looks pretty good, but again, you know, like I said, season 4 and 5 were, you know, pretty good in the beginning too. So we'll see how season 6 plays out. I have high hopes, so hopefully, you know, it turns out to be pretty good. But yeah, I would love to see a crossover. Again, let me know what you guys think about that. We haven't talked too much about the crossovers in a while, but I do think more crossovers will be happening. And thank you for sending in that question, Ozbej at 11. I do appreciate it. And those are the questions we got for this Q&A. Again, I want to thank you guys all for sending in the questions. I do appreciate it. I want to do more Q&As in the future, so stay tuned. You know, I'm always going to be posting some on my discussion section of the channel, or the community section of the channel, I should say. And then I'll announce it in the video, so stay tuned for more. But again, thank you for sending in the questions. Let me know all you guys' answers to the questions. I am gonna put up there for this video, so hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you did, be sure to leave a like rating, and for more Walking Dead videos in the future, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.